this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and it's running the latest iOS 18.2, and today we're going to face it off against the OnePlus 12 on Android 15 with Oxygen OS 15 as the skin. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up test in 3, 2, go, and see which one can get there first. Now, the OnePlus is the big topic of today for me because the Oxygen OS 15 has definitely cleaned up the stability and animations. iOS 18.2 is one of the gold standards of, smooth animations. It is slower than a lot of Android phones, but it definitely feels very natural and is very smooth. So I want to see how these two stack up. You've seen, wow, that boot up test was almost identical on both of these. And while the OnePlus 12 is going to be last year's phone very shortly here, as the global edition of the OnePlus 13 will be launching soon, you can already get the Chinese version of this phone, the OnePlus 13. So definitely the OnePlus 12 going to be last year's phone, but definitely booted up at about the same time as the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I still love this texture on the back, this premium build. It's one of the last curved displays as well. You might not like that, but some people do. So looking at the biometrics, when face unlocking the iPhone 16 Pro Max, you'll see just kind of looking at it, it just really pops open very quick and very good, but you do have to swipe to unlock. Over here, we do have face unlock that goes right inside of the device. However, it's not as secure as a phone like the Pixel, for example, but still pretty good. And I do like that. That animation also looks very smooth there. In addition, if we go ahead and press on this fingerprint sensor, that also works incredibly fast. And as you see in the Oxygen OS 15, we do have smoother animations when unlocking. To confirm that, we'll go over here and showcase to you down here about device. You'll see around Oxygen OS 15 for the OnePlus 12. This is the 512 gig variant with 16 gigabytes of RAM. And you can see the new, this is the new quick panel layout, notifications on the left and quick panel on the right there. I also want to mention that I will be using this in the enhanced animations mode, which is kind of how it comes. And then if you want to make it more like iOS, you can go ahead and put it into the standard animations. So we go over here, animation effect right here. The slower animations will emulate more of iOS. This one right here is going to be a little bit snappier, as you're going to see here. Now for the iPhone, we do have pretty good scrolling and smooth scrolling. As I discussed in my animations test video between these and the Samsung device, iOS seems to perform more slower, but looking for a more visually pleasing, polished look. It tends to come off very natural and kind of keeps up pretty good, but it's not like super snappy or super fast animations for the most part. So let's go ahead and get into the app test now. All right, guys, so here we are at the app test. You can see everything is closed out for both phones. Let's go ahead and begin with calendar. And you've seen that was faster for the iPhone. Again, the Google Calendar, though, is more of a cloud-based calendar. That could be why. Let's go into clock. Faster animations on the right. And at the end of this test, I am going to showcase to you the slower animations for the OnePlus to show you that OnePlus was faster there, that it's faster in this mode, and then it's kind of smoother in the other mode. So we'll go here. I have to be on the same city. Scrolling in here, pretty good on both of them. Let's swipe up out of there. You see it kind of like flies out pretty fast. Let's go into Google News. That was faster on the right. Headlines, and we'll go to the same category, which we're talking about today, technology. And as we scroll through, both of them smooth, although I am seeing a little bit worse scrolling there on the iPhone for this one. So they can trade. That was pretty fast, though. Let's go into the App Store and Play Store. Play Store faster here. We'll go into apps on both, faster here on the right. And as we scroll through, both of them do a good job with scrolling, although the OnePlus seeming to have things more loaded quicker, loaded up faster. Let's go into X on both, and that was faster for the right. So once you're in X, doesn't really matter. Both of them are going to be very fast and smooth. Swiping out, let's go into Instagram. You could see faster on the right. So look at this. This is going to be last year's model shortly here, the OnePlus 12, and it's still performing better on Oxygen OS than on the iPhone over there, which seems to be losing a lot of these base apps You'll see even Amazon was a little faster on the right, faster scrolling on Android, and they updated the Amazon look for Android devices. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so let's go into YouTube, and you can see faster on the right. And if we go ahead and scroll, both of them very good. Let's swipe up out of here. We'll go into eBay, and you'll see that's faster on the right once again. Scrolling a little smoother here on eBay for the iPhone, faster on the OnePlus. And even though the iPhone has a bigger screen, the OnePlus looks taller to me. So it kind of appears bigger, even if it's not. We'll go into categories. We'll go into tickets and events. And you'll see faster on the right, smoother scrolling on the left. So some apps are smoother to scroll on Android. Some are smoother to scroll on iOS. They kind of trade there. Let's go into Best Buy. Depends on the app. And you'll see this application was first on the right. We'll go to shop. And we'll go into cameras. And we'll go into DSLR cameras. And that was faster for the iPhone. So when you're in the application, it depends. Some will perform better than others. And you've seen OnePlus a little slower when we get in that application. Let's go into Race the Sun. And you'll see gaming engine turned on, gaming mode turned on here on the left. And the OnePlus was faster. Let's swipe up out of there. We'll go into Subway Surf. And we'll see the iPhone's game mode turns on quicker to load than the OnePlus over here for Subway Surfers. And if we go ahead and swipe up out of here, we'll go into Real Racing on both. We are going to load up a little bit more intense game here. Gaming engine turned on. Of course, the game mode over here. Let me get some dust off my screen. And iPhone wins this one. So you see, when we get in the heavier game, that the iPhone took it. And we're still waiting over here for the OnePlus. Let me swipe up out of there. So this one taking quite a bit of time for this device, and it's really, again, it comes down to the game. I feel like certain games will load faster on Android, certain ones will load faster on iOS, but both of these will play that game like nothing. Let's go into Free Fire on both, and you'll see Free Fire launching first here so far for the OnePlus, and yes, we're in. See, so it really just depends. Now we're waiting on the iPhone to get into this one, so they can trade blows here. Let's go into Geekbench 6. And this is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. I can't wait to see what the Snapdragon 8 Elite does next year versus this year. We're already in this year, so next year would have been this year, but we're already in this year. 8 Elite coming soon to the channel. Let's go into 3D Mark. Hold on, I missed that one. So now I got to touch that and then close it out and do it again. Let's go into 3D Mark. Yeah, faster on the iPhone. And just for good measure, since I messed up, let's do it again. Yep, faster on the iPhone. Let's swipe up out of here and we'll go into Speed Test Net. And that was faster on the iPhone, and InShot faster on the OnePlus. So I didn't count every one of them. If you guys counted them, let me know. But it looked like to me they were basically even, and Oxygen OS is definitely a lot smoother than ever before. It has beautiful animations and stacks right up there with iOS now. There's really nothing to complain about with the animations at this point. They are phenomenal on Oxygen OS 15, Android 15 over there, and they've been great on iOS. So just excellent choices here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the RAM management. All right, when going back through the applications, this is an area where iOS has continued to shine, just really doing a great job with going back through applications. However, 8 gigabytes of RAM seems kind of low compared to the OnePlus at 16. So I do think that OnePlus could potentially hold more applications in the background before running into a major issue. Is this a big deal in the day-to-day? No, but when you are pushing the phone and long-term, I do worry a little bit about having 8 gigs of RAM for long-term AI updates and usage that we're going to be going into the future with. So I do like 16, 12 to 16. 12 is even getting kind of low. You've seen 16 come to the max. I'm looking for 16 base going forward on a lot of these high-end smartphones. I think it's time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the RAM management here, and beautifully smooth as well. I love this. These animations here are butter. Look at this. I'm not even going to kid with you. This might look smoother than iOS in certain departments, like in certain applications. I still think that flyout effect is a little bit jumpy, but other than that, it looks pretty amazing. In addition, I do want to showcase to you, like I talked about earlier, if we do go into settings here for the OnePlus 12 and we go to animations right here, and we go to remove animations, not there, go to animation effects, scroll down and put on standard. I want to show you how similar this looks to iOS now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so let's take a look at this. You see how that animation looks identical. with them in the standard mode. So they basically give you the option to have fast Android animations or to have slower iOS-like animations. Calendar looked very jumpy on the OnePlus there, but you could see in their standard mode, they're basically saying you want to use the iPhone animations, there you go. You want to use the fast OnePlus animations, there you go. So you have the option there. You can just remove the animations from the iPhone. This just kind of blinks the apps open. You could do that here as well. But that to me doesn't look visually pleasing, so I don't do that in my tests. So when it comes to Geekbench, you could see the iPhone, no doubt about it, gets better scores. 3365 versus 8242. On the OnePlus, we do have 2131 and 6326. So definitely cannot out-benchmark the iPhone, but definitely does really good in the actual real-world performance, as you've seen in this video. Okay, so this is why I do two benchmarks, because just one can be deceiving. You could see that the iPhone scored 4805 on the 16 Pro Max with 28.8 FPS. That's scoring better than 91% of all devices. However, if you take a look here, the OnePlus actually won this test 4839, and you'll see 28.98 FPS, and this score is better than 91% of devices. So they did kind of match there, but it was actually a little bit higher. So the OnePlus actually outperformed it in the Wildlife Extreme graphic test. So both of these phones are super powerful, and they can basically trade blows in pretty much most areas. So that's pretty amazing to say, considering that the OnePlus costs several $100s less. It's a good value. The iPhone, though, definitely all around package. Great camera, great battery, super great performance, nice ecosystem. Just really, really good phones here for sure. Guys, so let's go ahead and launch the cameras, and this is going to be a little tough because these phones are huge to hold in one hand. As you see, I have to do some gymnastics here. Let's launch the camera in 3, 2, go. And you see the OnePlus was faster. If I go ahead and take a photo here, take a photo here, take photos, they have similar launch, similar shutter. Let's go ahead and do that again. 3, 2, hold on. 3, 2, go. Was it the iPhone? I don't know. 3, 2, go. I think it was the iPhone on the second launch. The initial launch went to the OnePlus. They're pretty close. I'm not seeing massive differences whatsoever. So wrapping it up, the OnePlus on Oxygen OS 15, I think it shows in this video, has gotten improved. Its system stability, especially with the new animations and smoothness, is just even better than ever before. Not that it was bad on Android 14, it was still great, but it's amazing now. Honestly, the OnePlus is going to have a great year, I think, in terms of the smoothness of their phones. Definitely next level this year. iOS has been really good, but I think it has sometimes a little bit too many bugs in some of these dot releases. You'll just get a new update, and then all of a sudden your phone has bugs, and you got to wait for the next update to iron out the bugs. That can happen on OnePlus devices as well as Samsung devices and other products. But lately I've been seeing like certain apps crash and weird stuff happening occasionally on my 15 Pro Max and 16 Pro Max. But overall, it's still buttery smooth. So you cannot lose in 2025. As long as you go with a higher end phone, you're not going to really lose. Even mid-rangers are really great now. Also, most of these products are starting to get their own little ecosystems with their watches, their buds, their little tablets and all that. So they're kind of all creating their own little ecosystem. So you kind of don't lose no matter who you go with here. It's just down to your preference. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next speed test. I'll catch you on the next episode. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.